Story coming out of the Supreme Court of India. The Chief Justice of India has offered to act as a mediator in the Ayodhya dispute case. The apex court has also pushed for an amicable resolution of the dispute. This is news just coming in from the Supreme Court of India, where the Chief Justice of India has offered to act as the mediator in the Ayodhya case, and the apex court has also pushed for an amicable resolution of the issue. Just to bring our viewers up to speed with the latest news coming in from the Supreme Court of India, where the Chief Justice has offered to act as the mediator in the Ayodhya case. All right, we are now joined by WION's Chief Domestic Correspondent Karthikeya Sharma. Morning, Karthikeya. Put things into context and perspective, if you will, for the benefit of viewers who might just be tuning in.
Well, Ramesh, what's happening is that Subramaniam Swamy, the MP, Rajya Sabha member of Bharatiya Janata Party, had moved the petition in the Supreme Court of India that there should be an early resolution to the Ram Mandir dispute. Now, Ram Mandir dispute has been, on it, the judgment had been delivered by the Allahabad High Court. Now, that judgment has been challenged in the Supreme Court. Allahabad High Court recognizes the primacy of the case number 4, which is Ram Lala Virajman. That area belongs to the deity Ram, and the whole premise has to be divided into 3 parts. Now, it's about the division. The sanctity that the place belongs to deity has already been proved in the court of law. Now, Subramaniam Swamy moves the court, says that, well, let's do it amicably. Let's do it in a fashion that the judgment takes place in their lifetime. Now, what is the issue here? Supreme Court, in its wisdom, has asked for translation of every document which was made available to High Court in one language, which is English. Now, documents gone through by the High Court, from 48 onwards, they were in Farsi, they were in Urdu, they were in Sanskrit, they were in Hindi, and they were in English. Now, if each and every document needs to be translated, it's not going to take less than 5 to 6 years. So, Mr. Swamy says, let's do it in a mutual way so that the litigation does not go beyond their lifetime. Now, the importance of the story here is that the Chief Justice of India has agreed to mediate the matter between different parties and ask for a hearing for the next week. Now, it depends on the people who are opposing it. Now, if there are people who are opposing resolution to this, then I think it will be a different story, and Supreme Court will have to go through the litigation issue. But the impact of this story are very, very political in nature. Because anyway, because of the large Hindu consolidation which took place in Uttar Pradesh, and if other parties supported by maybe the so-called left or center parties are seen to be blocking this, this will have major political repercussion in 2019, and that's where the story is.
Absolutely, Karthikeya. Please stay on while we recap for the benefit of viewers who might just be tuning in. This is the big story coming out of the Supreme Court of India this morning. The Chief Justice of India has offered to act as the mediator in the Ayodhya case. The apex court has also pushed for an amicable resolution of the dispute. So this is news just coming in from the Supreme Court of India, where the Chief Justice of India has offered to act as the mediator in the Ayodhya case. Also, the apex court is pushing for an amicable resolution of the dispute. If I can go back to my colleague Karthikeya. Karthikeya, you've mentioned about the stakeholders now, some of whom might be opposed to this idea. Now, in your estimation, do you think this suggestion or offer would be acceptable to some of the stakeholders, or all of the stakeholders, in fact?
Well, I would say that the proof of the pudding is in eating it. There's a lot of, there's a slip between the cup and the lip. So, even if the court is very well intentioned, even the applicant is very well intentioned, it has to depend on the other stakeholders. For example, when we talk about Ram Lala Virajman case number 5, which is the most important case of number of suits which have been filed in Supreme Court on this, there will be 1 or 2 people who would say that we want the Supreme Court to adjudicate the matter. We want a legal resolution to a matter of faith. Now, the BJP's political campaign has been that, it's a matter of faith, but now it's in court. We'll go by the courts. But then it's a matter of faith, which means the faith supersedes the legality. Now, in the case of Jallikattu, you would have seen, though it's a customary issue, But even the customary issue was a matter of practice. It's a faith practice, and it superseded the legality of the matter, Ramesh. So this is a far bigger thing than Jallikattu, and it's an analogy I'm given because it's a matter of faith for the millions, and in case it takes a different turn in terms of the opinion given by other stakeholders, my understanding is that this can be actually harnessed politically. So other political parties, even though they are keeping a safe distance from it, they will not be able to run away from it, because the crisis will be staring at them, because it requires certain sort of position, and it will be very difficult for the Congress party also, because it was during the Rajiv Gandhi's tenure that the gates of that disputed site was opened for prayers. So, you know, it's a very complicated issue, but to simplistically put it in terms of political messaging, the message, in case the other applicants say that we want a legal education, will be that people are not willing to cooperate for an amicable solution for the resolution, so that a Ram temple can be built. So the story immediately from the legal arena acquires a political life once again.
Absolutely, Karthikeya. Now, this offer of the Chief Justice of India to act as a mediator throws up more than one question. Now, to begin with, as Karthikeya was pointing out, are the courts legally competent to decide or adjudicate on a matter which is seen as a matter of faith? Also, now, what kind of precedent will this offer by the Chief Justice of India set going forward? And last but not the least, what might be some of the implications of the offer made by the Chief Justice politically, legally going forward? Now, Karthikeya, I want to come back to you quickly. Why don't you weigh in on some or all of these questions? For instance, are the courts, as you mentioned, are they legally competent to decide on a matter of faith? What kind of implications might this have going forward, politically, legally? Also, what kind of precedent is this likely to set?
See, my understanding is that when it comes to the matter of faith, the Supreme Court of India is legally, constitutionally empowered, competent to look into the cases of faith. But court, judiciary also has to be comfortable and respectful to the matter of faith. And here lies the fine line. Judiciary will oversee the education of the matter, but it has to be respectful of that. Judiciary has been reforming various religious systems in India. For example, Indian judiciary has taken many of the progressive steps in terms of empowering women. But this is a case about two religions. It is not a case of reform. It is a case of an issue, or it is a case whereby two religions and the followers of two religions have come head to head since 1948. So it is in this case the Supreme Court will have to play the judge. Now, a party wants that the Supreme Court should play the role of a punch, to mediate the matter in a way that it goes beyond, it goes beyond the legality of the matter. So the legal head will actually, in case if it is accepted, will actually try to find an amicable solution acceptable to all, which will be a novelty in itself in India if it is accepted. But if you ask me, I think it is not possible, because the other side will not agree to it.
Right. Karthikeya, please stay on. Let's quickly listen into what Subramaniam Swamy has to say.
एक मंदिर पहले था, ये बात सिद्ध हो गई, तो ये सारी चीज़ों को ले करके, और ये भी जब सऊदी अरेबिया और अन्य देशों में, मुस्लिम देशों में मस्जिद को एक नमाज़ पढ़ने की जगह मानते हैं और नमाज कहीं भी पढ़ा जा सकता है, तो मेरा सुझाव है, मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि ये मान्य सुझाव है, परंतु सुझाव है कि सरयू नदी के उस पार एक मस्जिद बने और यह सारा जो राम जन्मभूमि है वो राम मंदिर के लिए